All right, let's get this thing started. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to another stream. It's Friday, September 9th. We got some news on our hands on this nice Friday morning, 10 o'clock. We got wholesale inventories, Federal Reserve Evans speech, and Waller and George. Damn, they're ready to talk today. Hope everyone's having a good morning. I sure am. Friday, it's a good day. Let's take a look at this NASDAQ trade real quick, right? So this is the NASDAQ trade we took yesterday. Coming off of that 4-hour gap, we'll actually just do a whole recap. So we can get a good idea of where we are today, right? Where we can base our trades off of today, right? So we had this gap marked, fair value gap. We had 50% of it marked as like a reference because, you know, when the fair value gaps are pretty big, you at least want a little reference to see if it's going to kind of go fill the whole thing or respect 50%. You can see NASDAQ comes down, fills the entire thing. Okay, so that prompted us for our long trade, right? Come to yesterday's New York session, clicking on the 5-minute. We break above, we break structure here, and retest to the 5-minute fair value gap. Okay? And if I were to measure 50% of this, you could see 50% was pretty well respected. So you can do this really with any size fair value gap candle. I really only feel like I need to do it on higher time frame ones because it's much larger than a smaller time frame. And you can see 50% labeled by equilibrium. We hit that to a T. So we get in this trade 1 to 3. Well, more specifically, the value we were looking at, I have it marked on my phone, MT4, was 12,33932, which I think is TP3. 12,33932. That's where, you know, I was kind of at the gym and I took some partials because I'll say why in a second. We look at the hour. Is it the hour? Yeah. We look at the hour, TP3, 12,33932. We're in this fair value gap if you look left, right? Ultimate target were these buy stops. That's where my final TP was. But I took partial 12,339, which was majority of the position. And you can see that 12 o'clock news kind of sent it all the way back down, stopped me out at break even, right? We had our stops at break even and did the thing, right? It hit the final take profit. But unfortunately, we weren't in that, which is completely fine, right? We still caught a 1 to 3. That's pretty cool. Kept that up there just to show you guys what we were dealing with. So if we look at the daily chart, like we were talking about yesterday, we did end up reaching our objective of hitting buy stops, right? There's a good chance we come back up into this, and I'll cover this in a second. This is a H4 gap, and I'm gonna mark this to red just so we kind of know. Roxy? No. Over here biting wires. So we hit those buy stops. We could start to see some type of pullback. I really don't think they need to go higher for the day. If we look at H4, right, here's that fair value gap to the left. You can see we ever so slightly get into it. Yeah, not the wires, Roxy. Roxy's going crazy. Roxy, no. Drop. Drop. Okay, so we ever so slightly dip into that fair value gap. We set some buy stops here. We clear those buy stops. So if we do decide to go higher, these would be like profit targets, because there's a good chance we come down off it. If we just look at where we are based off of clearing those buy stops right now, in terms of could we get a reversal, what we would be looking for essentially, right? I would want to see this break of structure here to be really comfortable with the fact that we're gonna. First, let's look at the minute chart, kind of see how structure looks there, right? So we can see here's those buy stops here, right? Kind of drag this out in time. Roxy, you're gonna get electrocuted playing those wires. Come on. It's not even the wire she's biting. It's the cable management Velcro things that I have. She just like, I don't know what she's infatuated with that. And the bad thing is she knows how to walk up steps now. So it's like I can't even like put her in a location and trust that okay, she won't be able to come up steps. Like she's running up the steps. So here's those buy stops. We did break structure here. Kind of left this fair value gap open. We filled this fair value gap, nice sell. But we're gonna kind of just wait and see what we're gonna do here. I think to really be safe today, we're gonna wait for 5-minute structure breaks, which is this low. Take a look at SPX. SPX did the same thing, clearing those buy stops. And it looks like they're going higher. Check the daily, see exactly where they're going. So after clearing those buy stops, I think ultimately we're coming for these, right? May not be today, but sometime within next week, we're getting there. 39.64.20. Roxy. Whoa. I need the high. 40.72. What do you want now? Alright, so we got those stops. 40, what is it? 40.79, 40.72.20. As a good next potential target. Which looks nice because we do have this daily fair value gap here. Then right above the buy stops that we could potentially come into, and yeah, so I like the nice drive up. But we'll still keep in mind that we took out these buy stops here. These are relative equal highs as well. So we'll see what we get. Again, if I'm going to take any shorts, I'm gonna wait for 5-minute market structure break today. And this is throwing me off. My one computer screen says 1:17 a.m. The other computer shows the real time. Look at US 30. We could see US 30 has some pretty good rejection off of the buy stops here. This is something as well. We're gonna wait for that 5-minute structure break for any shorts. Look at the minute chart. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this and trying to take a short up in any of this fair value gap, what I'm going to look for at bond open kind of is if we can stay within this structure, within this area, right, and get some structure with a fair value gap, I'll be willing to take it back up to kind of really stop hunt those buy stops like we got on S&P and like we got on NASDAQ, right? We actually came through buy stops. U30 kind of just like, you know, had maybe 1, 2, 3 candle closes above. So we're gonna wait and see. Let's take a look at euro dollar. It's nice. Okay, I'm not sure when I marked this fair value gap, but we see euro dollar. Wow, this is beautiful actually. I want everybody to kind of pay attention. Get rid of this here. So here was that structure the other day we were looking at, or we were aiming to that, right, to go long. So they break the structure. I want everybody to look at this. Fair value gap. I think it's ever so slightly close to 50%. So there's 50% of that fair value gap. See how close we got to it. That's why I like to use 50% when it comes to these larger ranges, larger gaps, to kind of get a rough idea of where we're gonna be at. And we can see we just run, right? We run straight up into this daily gap here. We're still getting some rejection. I'm gonna go ahead and move this, right? Because we now have now what EU has done, right? They've taken out buy side liquidity here, dipped into fair value gap, not close to 50%, right? Slightly under. And this is where we can start looking for potential breakdown, right? I see on the H1, we have a break of structure here, right? And we also have a fair value gap lying right in here. Go down to the 15-minute. There we go. Yo, what's going on, Retsu? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. All right. In terms of how 15-minute structure looks, right? What immediately intrigued me was coming out of this daily fair value gap, right? We get this break of structure here, and then just slightly tap into that fair value gap. But these are the type of things I like to look for. Is one thing inside of another, essentially. But guys, give me a second. My dog's here whining, so I'm gonna go ahead and take her out real quick. I'll be right back right before bond open. Even if bond open does come, we're in no rush, right? We got news at 10, so we'll wait and see what opportunities are presented to us. But yeah, guys, just please hang tight. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. 2 minutes in the bond open. Okay, we got that break of structure. Beautiful. Yeah, we got that break of structure on all of them. NASDAQ, this gap fill. Try something here. Never mind, I don't want to try it. Reason why, we look at this. We look at this fair value gap. We kind of traded above. I don't really like that, even though it still might play out because it didn't necessarily close. Yeah, we had a minute fair value gap here as well. We're good though. It is what it is. Yo, Spence, welcome, bro. Welcome to the stream. Kind of just gonna wait out on NASDAQ. Some tells me they still want to go higher. We didn't take out London lows yet. NASDAQ looks like it's gonna go and make a new high. Try U30. We'll go for a 0.5% risk here on a Friday. Alright, so we got that break of structure, 5-minute gap. Stop right above the highs. Oh. Good reaction off that gap so far. I want to see if we can get to these lows of London. Be about one to 4. Roxy, come. Joe doesn't know how to open doors with a nose. It's kind of funny. We'll see if U30 has some gas. I could be completely wrong about the trade. Just given the fact we did break structure, clear the lows, and retest to a fair value gap, this might have been the long opportunity. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and choke my stop. Now it's a 1/4%. Because I do have a feeling this could be the long here, coming off of this gap. Matter of fact, we're gonna break even it. Only because this could be the long that I just misread there. Yeah. More likely than not, it was. So I got stopped out there. This would. Not really a fan. Hey, no. Probably should have kept the short open just because we did break that 5-minute structure like we were talking about. I'm probably gonna kick myself in the teeth for closing that early, but it is what it is. This is the name of the game. We get tricked out. Uh, I did see this 5-minute gap and then the break of structure on the minute, which made me think long, but no. Yeah, it might have been the banger trade. I mean, it gave what we needed on the 5 here. I guess I let the minute chart definitely trip me up there in terms of a short term break. Um, Fine though. Still a profitable week, so it's not really anything. You still look at Nasdaq for that opportunity, right? Because Nasdaq made a new high. Um, Now they've broken structure, so if they can form a fair value gap, um, right, we can capitalize on that. Kind of following suit. SPX I think is doing the same thing. I guess kind of, but Nasdaq definitely seems to be the one that's a lot higher. It's like lag behind correction. I mean, in reality, they haven't really moved much. SPX and Nasdaq haven't really. U30 though had we would have gotten say we got at the bottom of the fair value gap. Would have been at a 1 to 2 right now. Now we do got that 10 o'clock news, right? So this is, you know, they could kind of hold up and wait. We can get a change in direction or continuation. U30 is kind of out the picture now, really based off the fact that there's no gaps to the going down to the downside. So I do like SPX and how we have this fair value gap and these lows, kind of like a stop hunt low to stop these sell stops. Fair value gap, potential play. Did anybody catch anything? Drop it in the chat. Let me know, guys. Took any plays. If you didn't close out early like me. Wow. Boy, I'm sick. Should have just trusted my intuition, man. Like, we got the setup. I don't know why I came back and just yeah, kind of psyched myself out. Because literally probably 20 minutes before bond open happened, I said, okay, we're gonna wait for a break of structure in the 5 minute, go short. We break the structure, we retest to a gap perfectly. Really no reason to close it. Would have definitely hit TP. Yeah, TP would have been hit. That would have been a 1 to 4. NASDAQ not really doing much. I thought this would have been a nice opportunity had they I don't know why that candle was so violent in 95. Not a fan of the price action. Try to get in on that gap on U30 long. Minute chart, 5 minute chart. I guess you tried to get in long here. That bond open off this gap. Which is cool. We just gotta keep in mind, right? We're taking out buy stops, right? So they kind of got the liquidity they needed from the top side to kind of go short. And for me, at least, that's what kind of fixed my narrative to. Okay, we're coming off of buy stops. Let's wait for a break of structure and a retest, right? Which played out perfectly, and we did get in there, but I guess stepping away starts for that 10 minutes coming back hurt me out. Didn't stay true to my analysis. Very ugly. So we can see get rid of these buy stops. So this was that H4 gap on Nasdaq talking about earlier, where we would use them for potential targets. If looking at this on the 5 minute, this was a nice long break of structure here, retest to a gap. This is kind of what we took yesterday. Clear out London, clear out pre-New York lows. Nice. You see we're kind of diverted in terms of direction for all the indices, right? Nasdaq went higher. S&P kind of just sitting in the middle. US 30 went lower. Still kind of all in the same area at the end of the day, but I mean, see, we got news in 9 minutes. And that U30 would have been a banger. Would have got off nice and early. Oh, Friday. But I'll take a break even. Didn't lose anything at the end of the day. Good day, nonetheless. All right, so S&P and Nasdaq not really. S&P and US 30, sorry, not really given too much opportunity. Nasdaq is higher in price, um, and we are coming off that H4 gap to the top side. So we can get a break of structure here and a retest. I'll be willing to take it short. We have news in about 7 minutes, so we'll see how what happens. We'll wait till 10 o'clock. See where we go from there. US 30 still running lower. As much as I can sit here and say, yeah, it's cool, it still does pain me a little bit, you know, because that could have been some nice money right there. A 1 to 4 to close out the week. Like it would have been a stellar week. S&P super consolidated. Right, S&P is very ugly, very noisy on the lower time frames. So we'll keep this on the 15. All right, got that news in 2 minutes. A nice gap fill here on that deck. Looks like higher prices across the board. Actually, no. All right, here goes that 10 o'clock news. We got PMI and a speech. Double package. Wholesale inventories. It's good. Now, this range on U30, if we were to try to get in, no. Yeah, we've focus on NASDAQ real quick. Here's that H4 gap. We're to the top side of it right now. So we'll monitor that to see what happens. My guess is once we get to this high of the fair value gap, we'll kind of form some structure and either continue higher or lower. S&P just blowing through the roof. Still got those buy stops on S&P that I said we could potentially reach up here. Anybody in these indices, these longs? Ooh, looking back, this would have been 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock candle here. Where that low was taken. I want to say this was bond open. Yeah, this was that low here. This is where our TP would have been set, where it was set. Left these gaps open. On the H1, this is one whole gap. Came into it. We might be toast here in terms of opportunity on these indices plays. I don't like to sit on too long here when it comes to Fridays. Certainly don't like to force or push my luck on anything. The opportunity is because it's Friday. You know, there's no point in working so hard all throughout the week up to this point, you know, just to lose everything. It's happened to me plenty of times. I'm sure it's happened to you guys. And it sucks. You know, it sucks to have a good week up until Friday, and then last day of the week, whether you were profitable or not, right? Get yourself more in a hole, um, or the outcome's good. The outcome can. So Nasdaq is pushing through that fair value gap. My guess is they want these highs. And in hindsight, Nasdaq was very clean. Well, didn't quite get into that fair value. Close. And in a 5 minute, they come up, break structure, test perfectly into the fair value gap. That would have been a nice risk reward. Pretty sure we got more news at 12 o'clock. Two speeches. Federal Reserve coming out hot. I would love some type of pullback. But can't get everything you want. What? what I will say I do like is these are relatively close. Got these structure here in London, right? And then New York stops. They definitely stop on it with spread. Um, but coming off this H4 gap, it does fit narrative for breaking structure. Like this target. There's I know I talked about it yesterday, but when there's two consecutive fair value gaps, I'm not a fan of taking the first one. I want them to come deep range, where stop loss placement makes. If I were to get in on this fair value gap for long continuation, um, and then I place my stop right below the fair value gap or below the low, good chance, right? If I get in here, my stop below the fair value gap, a good chance we come lower, right? Now I'm stopped out. So I want a nice reasonable stop, and that would only make sense if we. This NASDAQ short is gonna rip right now. Do have structure here. Was broken, retest to the gap, off the H4 gap. Probably gonna rip. If you watch ICT's YouTube mentorship, I want to say episode 12 or 13, he goes really into structure. I like when it's more exaggerated, personally, but it's along the realms of just like where Wix is really structure. Um, reason why I said structure was broken here because we have a low, two highs to the right of it, right? So that makes structure point. Literally that small and minute that can classify as a structure. But I'm still not all that convinced. Being where we are, kind of the run we had. So I wouldn't mind kind of waiting to see, right? If we react off this 5 minute fair value gap to kind of go higher, either make a new high or attempt to make a new high. That would be nice because then we actually get some exaggerated market structure that we can kind of reference off of and feel a lot more confident taking right a reverse like US 30. This is a little more exaggerated. Looking at the 15 minute, right? This could be the potential stop hunt of highs. Um, the S&P structure looks a little better. All side by side. Now this is where I want to see. Okay, are they going to make a new high? Fail to make a new high. That's where we can kind of see. Okay, can we go lower? The US 30 made a new high. Like I said, I'm not all that interested in taking longs here. Being that we got this fair value gap right below. New highs were made. Got more structure to base ourselves off of, so that's good. So this is a new 15-minute. They go a little higher. There we go. All right, now I feel a little more confident in looking shorts for really all three, preferably Nasdaq being where we're coming off of. Right, we're coming off of the fair value gap on the 4 here. So what I'll kind of be looking for is something like this. Right at these lows. 8. See if we can push up in there. All right, we took that short. Second, guys. See what happens. Roxy, come. Looks like they're gonna want to go up. See how they respect this fair value gap, though. If we can close inside, cool. Roxy. Wow, sorry guys. I was talking this whole time and I was muted. So what I did was move my stop loss 50%. So now it's 0.5% risk trade. We'll take a partial at 1 to 2. Right now we can see we're at 1 to 1. So let's see what happens. US 30 rather consolidated. NASDAQ filled a 15-minute fair value gap. Don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, might get stopped out of here. No. Don't do it. All right. 0.5% loss. One break even. That's probably going to wrap it up for me here. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much on a Friday. Probably should have paid attention more to this. But I really was favoring the H4 gap and the fact that, here. yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Hope everybody has a good weekend. I appreciate everybody getting on. Also hope everybody had a great week on the charts. It's been a good week on this stream. Actually, good. Been pretty good since we started. Grateful for that. Grateful for all the support, everybody coming on, showing love. Um, can't thank you guys enough, man. But yeah, have a good weekend as always. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. It helps the channel out a lot. But yeah, see you guys.